Ito, sir, no, ano ho yung magiging implikasyon ho ninyo? Kasi I understand, marami ho nagsasabi na may mga magpa-file ho talaga ng impeachment complaints no, this February, doon sa after ng deadline ng Supreme Court. Ano ho yung magiging implikasyon ng kasong ito sa Ombudsman sa posibleng paghahain ho ng impeachment complaint laban kay VP Sara naman ho sa susunod na taon?
Okay, that's a good legal issue, no? Ano ba 'yun? Pwede bang magpatuloy yung criminal case na may if may na-file na impeachment complaint? Dani, I have to admit, no, ito gray area, di ba? Why is this gray area? Kasi nga sa ligang batas, yung president yung may immunity from suit, di ba? So kung yung presidente yung na-impeach or in the process of being impeached, yan, hindi pwedeng mag-file ng mga criminal cases. Pero ito, no, this is the first time na yung vice president, yung na-impeach na nga last year, di ba? Pero ito yung vice president na pwedeng ma-impeach ulit, no? This coming February 2025. So that's a gray area, no? So magpapatuloy ba? Magpapatuloy ba yung ombudsman with its investigation, knowing na may pending impeachment complaint na naka-file sa House of Representatives if and when that happens. Ako, I could just imagine, no, magpa-file na naman yan ng TRO sa Supreme Court. That's a gray area, but for me, no, hindi siya dapat hindrance yung impeachment complaint na yung sa pagpapatuloy ng mga criminal investigations with the ombudsman. Why? Kasi nga yung end products kasi ng impeachment is removal from office saka perpetual disqualification. Pero on one hand naman sa ombudsman naman ano yun pagkakakulong for the crimes committed. So hindi sila like mutually exclusive. Yun yung take ko, no? Yung criminal prosecution with the ombudsman and on the other hand, yung impeachment complaint. Kasi nga, gray area, president lang yung immunity from suit, Danny. So, my take is, pwede. They can go simultaneously. Ombudsman doing his thing and yung impeachment complaint and proceedings happening in the House. For me, pwede lang. Dali.
And you mentioned nga ho talagang gray area yung immunity from suit kasi presidente lamang ho, 'di ba? Yung nakalagay ho sa ating konstitusyon na may immunity from suit during his term nga ho, no. Attorney, follow up lang ho, no. Maghahain po ba yung inyong mga kliyente ho ng panibagong impeachment complaint laban kay VP Sara sa susunod na taon sa inyong pagkakaalam ho?
Okay, so Dali, we cannot telegraph our punches, no? I hope you understand. Pero definitely, 110% may magfa-file ng impeachment complaint before the House of Representatives come February 5, 2026. Dani, I am 110% sure of that.
Alright, sir, we understand ho. Ito ho, no, kung sakaling magtuloy-tuloy yung kaso ho, at eventually mahatulang guilty ho si VP Sara, ito kasong plunder ho, ito pandarambong ho, di ba? Ano ho yung magiging implikasyon nito sa kanyang posibleng pagtakbo sa 2028? We understand at this time she is still the front runner, no, doon sa pagiging presidente ho sa 2028. Ano ho yung magiging implikasyon ho nito?
Yeah. Dani, siya yung front runner in a crowded field, no? Crowded field, parang umabot ata ng 33%. Pero historically, no, yung support ng Duterte brand, mas mataas pa diyan eh. Mas mataas pa sa 33%. Yun. So she is the front runner kasi nga madami yung names na nakukonsider, no? So yung tanong kasi pag what if it's a one-on-one scenario, would that 33% around that would that hold? Would that deliver the votes for her to become the next president, no? So ano yung implication for me? Mai-embolden pa rin yung base nila. Nako, makagalit yung base nila, re-energize yung base nila, so to speak. Pero that's around at least as of now, no, 33%. Pero yung tanong, no, yung tanong sa taong bayan, no, nung wala sa tinatawag natin na DDS multiverse, would you vote for a candidate to become president na humaharap sa mga plunder cases yung kandidatong yan. So that's the bigger question, no? Wag na siguro yung DDS multiverse kasi parang ang hirap yan, ang hirap nilang i-convince eh. Parang it's cast in stone na yung support nila. Pero yung remaining like 60 to 70%, no? Would you vote for a president na ang daming controversies, ang daming mga tanong as to her competency, as to her temperament, as to her integrity, honesty when it comes to funds entrusted to her by the government? So yun yung tanong, no? So yung implication for me, hindi siya makakatulong. Hindi siya makakatulong na magdagdag sa votes niya yung mga plunder cases at saka yung impeachment proceedings na I am 110% will push through in February 2026 rather than.
Pero sir, legally speaking, no, magiging hindrance ho ba to? Balakid ho ba ito dun sa
Okay.
pagtakbo ho niya?
No, hindi naman. Kasi nga parang the only way na yung isang tao hindi na pwede mag-file ng certificate of candidacy is yung pag sinabing ano na siya, perpetually disqualified from holding office and then yun. So yung tanong nga, pag Sandigan Bayan level, is that enough? Di ba? Sabi, dapat Supreme Court. Ano pa yan? Pero at this point, I don't think na may desisyon yung isang hukuman that could perpetually disqualify her yung elections in 2028 knowing na hindi naman ganun kabilis yung mga legal proceedings here in the Philippines, no? Pero probability pag may isang hukuman na mabilis on time yung mga hearings at saka mahatulan yung vice president ng perpetual disqualification, and then for me, no, it could be an argument na hindi na siya pwedeng tumakbo in 2028. So yung legal implication, yung pag-file pa lang, wala pa. Hindi pa yan makakapigil sa Vice President to file, to launch her candidacy. Pero pag natulan na siya, guilty ng mga crimes, saka may kaakibat na accessory penalty, na perpetual disqualification, yan. So hindi na siya pwedeng tumakbo.